Thanks for watching Wow Biz Weekly right here in Omaha, Nebraska. We are taping right here at the Hickson Lead Auditorium at the Harper Center on Creighton University. It's a great venue, a great facility, and I have an equally great show. What an incredible collection of interviews. These are Omaha's business movers and shakers, ladies and gentlemen. And the first guest, I got to tell you, he provides the big picture. If you're part of Omaha, you are connected with this man as well as his team and the people who are around him that are working hard every day to create jobs right here in the Metroplex. Mark Norman works with the Chamber of Commerce here in Omaha. He's in charge of business attraction. He's working constantly on getting companies to think differently about the Omaha, Nebraska area. As you know, several years ago, Omaha had kind of a bland image. It really wasn't considered a magnet for jobs or commercial startups or even entrepreneurial activity. Mark Norman is making a difference, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome my first guest on Wow Biz Weekly from the Omaha Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Mark Norman, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I'm stumbling all over myself. Please sit down.
How are you?
Good to see you. Scooch on up here.
Okay.
Great to see you. Now, you came from the Council Bluffs Chamber of Commerce years ago.
Correct. Been here about 3.5 years.
Yes. And I hear you're making a huge difference over there.
Well, we're doing well. We're doing well. We're keeping busy. There's a lot of great things happening in Omaha. I'm sure you saw that we just got the #1 ranking from the Brookings Institution for the city that survived the recession the best.
Is that right? Why don't you elaborate on that real quick so that we can give you the due recognition you deserve? Omaha, Nebraska was recognized by the Brookings Institute.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep. So essentially, again, they're looking at several different items. They're looking at, how did our gross domestic product, how did that react during the recession? Our housing market, did it drop, did it go? The unemployment rate, the number of jobs created, so on and so forth.
Yes.
And took all of those factors, put them together. Omaha was the best in the nation.
Unbelievable. How about it?
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I knew you were doing a good job, but I didn't have any idea that was really happening.
Well, we've got a full team there. I mean, we've got 20 individuals that work with the Greater Omaha Economic Development Partnership. And we're a 4-county economic development organization.
Right. That's been about 5 years now. You've pulled together with Washington County.
We got Cass. Washington County, Douglas, Sarpy, and Cass. And they've joined over a period of time. Sarpy County's been with the partnership the longest.
Right. I'm going to ask you about that in just a few minutes.
Sure.
But recently, now fill me in. There was some kind of an announcement for a new major fundraising effort here in Omaha. Tell us a little bit about it. What's it called? Prosperity?
Prosper Omaha.
Prosper Omaha.
And it's part of our new 5-year strategic plan.
Yeah.
It's also going to be a 5-year fundraising. So we've had GO the last 10 years, so 2013 is the last part of that.
So this is an extension of that?
It's a new phase of that. So we've got some new strategic goals, some very high goals that we're trying to reach.
Yeah.
But I'll just say during the past 10 years, I mean, we've had projects resulting from what we've been involved with, $4 billion in capital investment and about 20,000 jobs we've been involved with. And those are both retained jobs, because existing industry is something very important for us.
Sure, you got to hold on to retention.
But bringing new companies in as well.
What would be a couple examples of the new companies that have come into our metro area in the last year or two that really are reflected in your efforts here?
Well, I think that
this is a very positive interview, by the way. You got to feel good about this so far, right?
Well, we do feel good. David Brown, our president, keeps asking, "That's good. What's next?" Hey, so the last thing was probably the Fidelity data center announcement, which was a $200 million data center that's locating down in Sarpy County, close to the city of Papillion.
Yes. How many jobs are associated with that?
Data centers typically are not a lot of jobs. It's going to be 30, 35, but the hope is, you bring in a data center for a company like this, that opens the door for more growth and other corporate operations.
They're kind of a magnet, aren't they, for other businesses that kind of live within their ecosystem a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I mean, clustering, that's kind of what we're trying to focus on.
Yeah, I mean, PayPal did some interesting things. I mean, it's the same kind of a catalytic effort.
Right.
Let's go back to this interesting partnership that you have with all the contiguous counties here in this area. By the way, we recently had a gentleman on from the Western Douglas County Chamber of Commerce, right?
Sure.
Chatting with Jim.
Yep.
How do you manage a relationship like that? Everybody's got to have their own individual agenda and their interests and so on. And I would love to be back there behind closed doors as people argue, what do we focus on? Who are we lobbying? How are we trying to get resources allocated over here? No, I need it over there. How does that go, Mark?
Well, you know, we really focus as an organization that does not see boundaries. So, for example, if one of our partners, Toby Churchill with Sarpy County, if he's got a project and he needs some assistance, everybody from that team will jump in and help him if needed.
Okay.
You know, ultimately, you know, Toby or Paula Hazelwood up in Washington, or John Yoakum down in Cass, they'll have you know final responsibility for their project, but we're all there to help. And being part of that partnership also provides the opportunity to access the other resources. I mean, we've got a full research department.
So you trade resources.
Trade resources. And if a you know, ideally, again, when you're bringing a company in, you want to provide them the most choices for a location or a site. So we're able to provide them all these sites, all these buildings within the 4-county area.
So it's a greater variety.
So it's a greater variety. So the more product you have, as you know, the better opportunity is to make
easier
the
to
sale.
close a deal.
That's right.
Okay, Mark Norman, as we wrap up here for a second, you move into this prosperity initiative, right?
Prosper Omaha,
Prosper Omaha, thank you. And so fundraising is a key part of it, right?
Obviously, we have to have funds to do. We are a nonprofit organization.
Sure, sure.
And
I mean, are you out personally knocking on doors and saying, I'd like to sit down and ask you for a $250,000 contribution? I mean, I want to hear about the pitch. Make the pitch.
Well,
pretend I'm the guy.
Pretend
I'm Dan Neary over at Mutual Omaha, and I'm hanging around, and you'd like some additional funds to take us to the next level. Pitch me right now.
Right. Well, again, I don't really do this. This is not my area, but
well, you're very effective so far.
You know, again, you know, what I would say is that, you know, there's really nobody out there that's going to do this if we're not out there doing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're focusing on multiple areas. We're looking at existing industry, as I said, but we're also really focusing a lot on small business, you know, minority-owned business, women-owned business, businesses east of 72nd. That's
so there's going to be a real focus
There's a big push for us to really look at, you know, how can we improve, you know, those operations in that area.
Because, you know, Mark, the city can't move forward as long as we have baggage in that respect. You know, these things are going to pull us down in terms of quality of life considerations and all of that stuff. So,
and one of the things they're saying is with Prosper Omaha is that it's prosperity for all Omaha.
That's right.
And that's what we're focusing on.
And I so appreciate the fact that you said we're limitless with our partnerships, rather than approaching this kind of a challenge from a lens of scarcity. All right, you're looking at it as a situation for abundance.
Yes.
Right, and I think that's fantastic. Mark Norman with the Omaha Chamber of Commerce, everybody. Great job.
Appreciate it.
Great job. Great job. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with Wild Biz Weekly. Stick with us on wildbiztv.com. Thanks so much.